Adonon, Mורנו, ורבינו, המשיח, לעולם. This week, the malchus, shoftim, the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit speaks about mitzvah. This week's parsha, which is shoftim, v'sheitri, titin lechem chol sharecha. You have judges and police by your gates. Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit brings that there's a nevuah. The Navi says that v'ashiva shoftaich v'rishaina v'yatzayich v'tchila. In times of the Geula, Hashem return the judges and return our advisors. And the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit says, according to the notification of the Frierdiker Rebbe, they already finished the avodah, already finished polishing the buttons, and they're even ready to finish being ready for the Geula, the great Mashiach taken from Yad Namish. So it's certain they're ready, standing now when this prophecy is being fulfilled of Vashiv, Vashaflech, Vashena, Mitzach, Vatchila. The Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit says here a few questions. First of all, if you look in the parsha, it says shoftim, v'sheitrim, judges and police. And the nevuah it says shoftaich v'yatzayich, means judges. Second thing, also to understand, why by shoftaich does kavari shayna? What does kavari shayna mean? Yatzayich v'tchila. What's the v'tchila? Another thing to understand, by the parsha it says shoftim v'sheitrim. That's an idea. Titin lecha you shall have for you. However, shoftaich v'yatzayich comes straight on you. What's the uniqueness? The Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit explains, what's the whole point of a judge? The point of a judge is to give the din. What's the point of the striker of the police? Make sure it happens. He's standing there with a whip and a stick. The person doesn't want to listen. The police takes care of him. The time of the Geula, we know more Yetzirah, we know more HaTomim. We'll not need anymore the idea of a police, of a shaitor. And this idea that a shaitor is not really needed is emphasized in the fact that what's the name of the parsha? Shoftim. Why? Because shoftim is a dita. It's only when it is needed. In time of galus, when somebody is not listening to what the shofet says. Why does the pasuk also bring shaitor, also police? It could be, and sometimes you'll need it. However, it's not part of the mitzvah. For example, the time of the Geula, you don't need the idea of shaitor. Understand this idea of shoftaich and yatzayich. The Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit explains what's the difference between a shofet and a yayit. A shofet is somebody that's greater than the person being judged. He has a bigger understanding in the malchus, and he's giving his sack based off what the shofet feels is right thing. He's not looking at all as the person being judged. On the contrary, he's not allowed to look at the person and say, judge you based how you look. However, it's an advisor or a counselor. He is the level of the person. He's a friend. He's telling you a good idea. And that's the idea of shoftaich and tzach regarding a Torah mitzvahs. And each one has an advantage over the other. What's the advantage of a shofet? The shofet is coming from above. He's telling you what to do. That means it's much greater than the person. However, what's the disadvantage? It's not shaykh to him. It's coming from above. What's the mile of a yayitz? An advisor. An advisor, a counselor is your friend. However, it's limited to you. And this is al derech the two inyanim that there is the Isarusa de Leila and Isarusa de Tata. We have a person, Isarusa de Tata, that's the person himself. Isarusa de Leila is more above. The Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit, similar to this, we have two ideas of Isarusa de Leila. Isarusa de Leila coming from above, that's at my level, like the idea of a yayit, a counter, he's coming from above to arouse me to do something good, but he's on my level. However, a shofet is Isarusa de Leila, which is greater than that. The Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit says that's why we can understand why by shoftaich has kavari shayna and yatzayich kevatchila. What does rishayna mean? Rishayna means it's first. What is first means before it. Because we said the idea of a shofet, of the judge, he's greater than the person, then the shofet psak is before the person listening. First he says, the person doesn't understand, doesn't feel it. Then afterwards, start a new thing, and a second thing that the person understand, and start doing what the shofet asks. However, yatzayich, it's not rishayna, it's not before it, it's kvatchila. It has to do with the person beginning to actually do what the yayitz told him. Why? Because the yayitz is on his level. He's on his level. Because he's on his level, therefore, what he's saying goes right into the inside of the person hearing it, and also practically, he starts acting accordingly right away. And that's why, by the level of the Geula, when it will be a idea of a yatzayich, says Yotzayich yours. Why? Because it's you. The Yotzayich brings it, the other shoftim brings it, make Shaychas for you. By the Parsha, shoftim is greater than you. Titin Lacha, try to do according to them. However, by the Haftarah, it's the time of the Gula when it's complete, it's Yotzayich and Yotzayich. And this is the other, the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit says that Shaykh, the person, is emphasized in another explanation in Titin Lacha B'chol Sharecha. What does B'chol Sharecha mean? Shoftim means the Neshama, right? And serving Hashem. And Hashem, which in the mind, has to B'chol Sharecha, right? In your two eyes, and your two nostrils of your nose, and your two ears, and your mouth, and the 7 gates, you have to put shoftim. What does that show? The idea of shoftim has to be shaykh to you. The Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit explains this is why in the time of the Gula, not need any more police. Why? At the time of the Gula, the mitzvah is complete. Side we have the shleimus of idea of the shoftim, of the judge from above telling you what to do. On the other hand, even the person inside won't be missing. Out of the idea of the Yotzayich will bring it down into primis, that in every single aspect of the person, same to the idea of the Kabbalah self and the and to the person himself, to the idea of the Yotzayich, will be permeated in the idea of doing what Hashem wants. The Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit explains, because the whole idea of a Yotzayich is that the idea of Tchila, that it comes inside, must we say that idea starts level to level. In other words, that can't be an idea that starts only after the Gula. A counselor can be somebody that comes suddenly. Yes, to someone that already done before. So we must already before the Gula get ready to know who the Yotzayich is. Be my counselor, be my friend. And this is the idea. We know that the whole idea of Golos, that brings the idea of the Mashiach. So how do we have that idea? Through now following the shoftim in every generation. And the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit brings an example, the difference between the day of shoftim. It's the day of Torah and Nevuah. Torah is Chachma v'Hashem, higher than world. Hashem is Chachma, that's the way it is. What's the difference of Nevuah? Nevuah is relevant to the world. First of all, because it depends on the Navi. The Navi has to be worthy according to different levels of Hashem to get the level, to get the idea of the Nevuah. And also, the whole point of the Navi is to tell you the future will be in the world. So the whole point of the Nevuah is shaykh to the world. And that's the idea of shoftim and Yotzayich. And so there's the same way as a mitzvah to listen to the judge, shoftim every generation. So there's a mitzvah of listen to the Navi. Like I'm right, you say that's from the basics of Judaism to know that a kelim manab be'esmei Hashem gives nevuah to people. And the Rambam brings it down in the halachas of nevuah. Someone can ask, this is in Gemara. Misha Mesa Navim Achrin, the last Navim passed away. Chagiz Chayrim Malachi, and he stalked Ruch Kadesh Yisrael up, stalked means it went away. Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit explains, it says Nistalka, going means it goes higher. It didn't stop, it wasn't Posca or Butler. And Nistalka went higher. And more than that, the Rambam writes, in the Geras Tamar, at a certain time, Mashiach, the idea of the Nevuah will come back as the Chana for Mashiach. And therefore, it's a Seder Das to know that Hashem gives a Nevuah to the Nevi'im of that generation. And that's what Rambam writes about the day of the Nevuah. Because if the whole point of the Nevuah is only the time of the Geula, the Rambam is not writing about that now. Why? We have Rebbeinu, we have all the tzaddikim. Well, no, they'll tell us it's Nevuah. But Rambam writes the idea of the Nevuah, it means it's already a chana for the Geula. So Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit explains what's our lesson now. Standing in the last seconds of the Golus. According to the Rebbe told us, we already finished everything. So I'm saying, since that we had the mitzvah of shoftim and shoftim from the 6th Parshas, from that time, there was yet the idea of the Gula, because it's still the idea of HaTomim. And therefore, the idea, they had come to the idea of shoftim, police to force people. However, after all, especially through the Gila Primasteira, that the Arizal writes, mitzvah legalis, so Chmat real Primasteira every single place. So now we're already changing that level. And we have the idea of the Rebbe King, we have the idea of by the Rebbe, we have the idea of Sheftayich, we have the idea of the Yotzayich, we have the Eitzis, especially when it came to the idea of Chassidus Chabad, we took the idea of Chassidus and brought it out into understanding of Chachma, Bina, Das, and even Nefesh B'Hamish can understand. And that comes to the idea of Yotzayich Tavat Tchila, it's a way of Tchila, that we're ourselves are connecting to the idea of Prim Shatayra, especially now that we're already finished the shleimus and every single language, even the Russian, and even Braille, the script for blind people, they feel their fingers. Even that, such a script, there's already printed the idea of Chassidus. And the Rebbe says, because we already finished all the Vedas, already now we're ready, already came the time of Shiva Shavtach Hashem Tzech Vatchil. So what the Rebbe says, now what's our lesson now to publicize to everybody? Now everybody has to take on themselves in a stronger way the lessons of a Shefet and the Yoetz. Like it says in the Torah, to be a Navi, you have to listen to him. Like Rambam writes, why do we believe in Navi? Not because he is a Navi, rather because Moshe said to believe a person that has a din of a Navi. And there's more than that. That when a Navi, that another Navi gives testimony that that person is a Navi, and that person is a Navi also. And you have to believe everything that he says. And therefore, why? Not because his words, because Hashem is speaking through his mouth. Therefore, that says we have a lesson. We have to be fashioned to all people generation, and we merited that Hashem chose about a person, that he is much greater than everyone else's generation. He should be the judge of the generation, and he should be the advisor of the generation, to give lessons, in day-to-day life in Torah mitzvahs, and not only Torah mitzvahs, also in Kol Ma'asechel, everything else doing that's the same Shem. Until the Nevuah Ha'ikris, the Nevuah of the Gula, that it be Hines the Mashiach. And together with the Schus, everyone has the Christ, take on themselves, listen to the lessons of Shtayich and Yotzayich. And through that we are listening to Shtayich and Yotzayich, to the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit, we are already fulfilling it says in the Geula that Shiva, Shafek for Hashem, they're already fulfilling that tefillah. And according to people can ask, how can it be that we speak to people, tell them the Geula is coming right now, take it from me Adamish? How will the Geula get accepted? So if the Geula would have been a Chiddush, then we have placed such a question. Because the idea of Geula is not a Chiddush. And all of the ideas of the Geula already are going down, Kivat Chila, going down into the level of the world. It will not be a appellate when the Geula comes right now. So that Malach HaMashiach says the pastors, everyone has to take on the stavis, that they have the idea of shoftim. First of all, every person themselves, that all his 7 gates, right, of his 2 ears, his 2 nostrils of his nose, his 2 eyes, and his mouth, so you go according to the shape, according to the Torah, especially according to the shape of the day. Especially that every single generation is a Navi of the day. And that what the Shefet and the Yetz of the generation say has permeated his Seichel and his Midas. And in every single day, also in Kava Yamin, and in the Seita, even also in Meda, and also in the idea of Smell. And so too, like in someone's household, so the Isha is the Shefet and the Yetz. And generally, everybody should receive the Hirah, so Shefet until we make it, the entire world should become just a yachid for Yechidish L'Elam for Hashem, how he's revealed in the Nasiya, just like the Evan Ashiyah, which is found in a certain place, which is not buried without any changes in a certain place. So in every, right, unlike the Arden, which the Arden is also everlasting, and the Arden is underground, right? So the Mashiach lives overground forever. So in every generation there's one, the Nasiya there, and the Evan Ashiyah is 2 opposites. On one hand, Evan Ashiyah is 1 nakuda. On the other hand, it includes everything. It includes the entire world. It's like Rosh Shia. You have the Yod that's in the nakuda, and then you have the Shin and the Saf Hey, which all are letters that have Eirech and Reichav. Now we're already standing in the end of the year. We're standing now in Chedesh El Cheshbon. We have to make a Cheshbon. How are we doing a Savoida of Vashiv Shtayich V'Rishayna V'Yitzayich V'Tchila? There's a Virat saying through the Avodah, filling what the Shefet says. What the Yed says, we will be married to the base of the Nish, come down from heaven, together with every Nish that's inside the base of the Nish that's L'mayla. And actually now we're after Chamish Sabah, so the bench every single Yed, Ksiva, Chsimateva, and Gmar Chsimateva, and Vagashmis, and Baruch, everything together, and Hashem shall fulfill the wishes of all the hearts, all Jewish people, especially in the demanding and the asking of Ad Masai, Hashiva, Shavteinu, Kvarishenu, V'yatzeinu k'vatchila Megula hamitzvah shlema Adei Mashiach tzkeinu Teikef miyad mamash Yechi Adonenu Vorenu Rebbeinu Melech Mashiach L'Olam Dvar.